Coolsville, home of a pup named Scooby-Doo and his best friend Shaggy. In this quaint town of mystery and candy store clerks constantly attempting insurance fraud, we know it will be kept safe under the gracious watch of the mayor of Coolsville, King Cool himself. It's Shoji, baby. He's cool as hell. My name is James.
I'm Nicole.
And we are Mostly Speakin Sentai. Welcome to Mostly Speakin Sentai. Like I said, my name is James. We're part of Marshland Media. It's a new thing. You can follow us on Instagram at MSS Podcast and on Twitter and Facebook at MSS Pod. Let's switch it over to my co-host, Nicole.
Hey, what am I doing?
I mean, just say hey.
Hey.
All right. She's also Darling Homebody, but we're going to start doing plugs at the end because we were doing them both at the beginning and ending. Just want people to know who we are.
Give the people what they want.
Oh, and what they want is this
just
episode.
all plugs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've done a podcast where every single bit was a fake advertisement plugging things.
I co-sign that.
It was great, and you just heard his voice. He is a rapper. Our guest. I mean, yes. Our guest today.
Plugs McGee.
Our guest today. He's a rapper. Is NickPeriod. He's also a co-host of the Super Guys podcast, Nick Foster.
Thank you. I thought the plug was coming at the end.
Oh, no, but I was still, like, when I introduce people, I still want to, like, know, they want to know where.
Word. Well, thank you. Thank you, James.
You are very welcome.
Pleasure to be here. And Nicole as well. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
I thought you were just going to shake your head yes, and I was like, this is an audio podcast. Nicole just shook her head.
Wrong.
Ooh, baby. So I realized in past episodes that we weren't giving people a summary of the episode. So people who haven't seen the episode of Dairanger, they'll have to just piece together our just ramblings of barely touching on an episode to get what we're talking about. So today I wrote my own summary of the episode. Today we were watching, I forgot the name of the episode.
I wrote it.
What's the name of it?
Magnet Priest?
Magnet Gauss.
Okay, which it's the magnet one, baby.
Magnet
and
Gauss.
like I said, it's a Shoji episode. So
Wait, what number is it?
What number of episode?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's on the box. I think it's like episode 9 or 10, around there. People will it'll be in the description of this podcast. You'll know. It'll be there. But in this episode, Shoji has a crush on a cutie, and damn, don't I wish I was that cutie. But I'd still be dating Nicole, of course, because I just want to be this cutie, because we'd be a cuter couple. Because if we just took this body that I have right now out of the equation, we'd be better off. Shoji is about to get them digits until some giggling creep priest comes through sport slapping polarities on people's butts to make them magnetically opposed or attracted. I once ran a magnet across my family's TV and it got wonky. No joke there, just letting you guys know my relationship with magnets. This...
What are you doing? I'm sorry.
I'm glad you're having this reaction. This is the reaction I want people to have. No lie. This magnet monster means business, though. He's trying to snuff people by making unmanned cars run them down like a dang self-driving car. Uh-oh, Google be Gorma. Luckily, Kaku finally gives some advice to Shoji, and with his Pegasus wings flapping, Magnet Boy stands no chance. But hey, I didn't doubt King of Cool for a second. Unfortunately, that cutie Shoji was pining over likes another boy. She must be intimidated.
Spoilers.
No, these aren't spoilers. People should have been watching this episode.
Oh, okay.
She must be intimidated by how...
Spoilers, we're talking about the episode.
Fair enough.
She must be intimidated of how cool Shoji is, much like I was to see Poppin' and Low C of the Never Dead clique when I first met them back in 2008 or so, but wound up being best of friends in the end, though, which just goes to show, if you don't try, you'll never succeed. Dairanger.
I mean, he didn't really try, though. She kind of stopped his try, didn't she?
Oh, I was just putting that in there as a joke. I mean, it means nothing.
Well, I mean, I want to hear what you guys thought, and then I'll give I'm the outsider. Or should I go first since I'm the outsider?
Oh, no, this is just a free-form conversation. First, like, you've never seen this show.
Wait, I have dibs on first.
Okay, she has dibs on first.
Let's go.
Because I know you're going to be pissed, and it's so funny. Also, you probably, already know I'm going to say this, but if ICP saw this episode...
Oh, yeah, yes.
Their minds would be blown.
Yeah, they would be like, whoa. Are you saying magnets aren't a miracle? They're just some funky monster? Oh, no, I was saying it was going to be a funky monster. That's what makes magnets go round, is this Gorma dude.
Wait, so have you guys not seen this episode before?
No, I've seen all of these episodes.
Oh, okay.
And I've seen it, in passing. So I've seen, some of it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the first thing that definitely popped out to me was I just think that they cared way more about this than we did. Their intros were way cooler. Their breaks to the commercials were way cooler.
I don't think we had the breaks to commercials because that's a Japanese thing for sure.
And what suits were those? I've never even seen those.
So for this series, guys, don't at me if I get this wrong. I've only read the Wikipedia a few times in passing at work.
Oh.
By the time this is out, I won't work at that place. I'm just looking at the Wikipedia sometimes. I do my job, though. I get out thousands of emails a week, no lie. This series, they mainly just took the Zord battles, the mecha battles from it. They didn't take much. They didn't lift much of the suit fighting from it.
Yeah, because they definitely just rehashed the same old power. They were like, these are the new re-energized Power Rangers. I remember those. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's pretty bogus. Those suits are way cooler.
Yeah. Their helmets have their kind of a resemblance of their mystical key beast.
Yeah.
Again, I'll say it. This show's dope.
It was way better than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be some fucking crazy, out of this world Japanese type shit. Because it seemed pretty, the 90s were already cheesy, but to add Japan onto that too, where they can be pretty out there culturally from us, so that it could be a little culture shockish. I didn't see much culture shock. In fact, I almost felt it was better done than our shows. Kind of, there was a clear lesson. I will say it seemed a lot more rushed, but it seemed like there was a lot more creativity with this than with us.
Yeah, well, I would also say I also don't know a lot about Mighty Morphin. I did watch every series up until Lost in Space or Galaxy, whichever one was the later one. That might be more rushed because they were literally just trying to churn out as much as possible. And after it blew up, they might have wanted to rush it even more just to always have content on Fox Kids Saturday mornings.
Yeah, I mean, that was... It really felt like they kind of liked the shows that they were making here, but with us, just seeing how they kind of did it, it definitely got a feeling of shoveling shit out to kids. That's what ours felt like in comparison to that. Again, even with the group of Rangers, those were regular dudes. They're kind of goofy, but they were all friends and seemed reasonable as
They're
people.
Also all blue collar kids. One's a runaway, one is a restaurant worker, the other is Shoji boxes, but doesn't he also have a day job? He's a greaser.
How old are they?
They're I think all 18, 19. Then one's a hairdresser, one works at a pet store.
Young adults.
Yeah, and then one goes to college.
So, what the fuck? Ours were 14-year-olds, weren't they?
No, they were late high school.
I always thought they were 15.
No. There is the White Ranger's 9 years old in this series.
I knew that part. I had heard about that back in the day, but like when like I could have swore like it was like Saved by the Bell years, where it's like we're 15 but we look 22.
I mean,
like,
that could
Power
be it.
Rangers.
I always assumed they were 17, 18.
Because I mean, God knows how disappointed I was in high school when I got there, and I was like, I'm supposed to be way doper looking than this. I still look like a kid, but yeah, what can you do?
What notes do you got?
I mean, not too many, just because I was taking it all in. I remember everything, but one that killed me was Shoji when he was kicking game to the girl, saying that his like power could shock a crying child into silence. That was the hardest line I had heard in recent history, trying to kick game to a girl. So I might have to steal that one. Shock a crying child into silence. That's a beautiful one.
I also thought technically he is doing, but I did this in high school. He is kind of doing some stalkerish type stuff. He was waiting to see that girl run around the corner and just be like, "Oh, I was also running," because I did that like at a locker. There was a specific girl that I would just. She wasn't even by my locker. I'm sorry, it's in the past, Nicole.
No, his locker now. His locker now.
I would stand at someone else's locker and just like kind of shyly, awkwardly catch glances of her because I was like, oh no, she's so cool. And then I wrote her some poems.
I think you get a pass. It's high school.
There was a poem called Girl in the Locker, which was kind of like horrorcore-esque about like a girl trapped inside a locker, but like it made it sound like it was like gory, but it just means like she's...
Wow, so you just write all the girls' poems?
No, I've only written
Just write
3
all of
girls'
them
poems.
Wow.
I've only written 3 girls' poems. And guess what? The rhymes in those poems were fucking weak. You got multis out of me.
You got multis? You got multis.
Yeah.
That's a step ahead of Locker Girl.
Yeah. A far step ahead. You got imagery and multis. She just got imagery and some bullshit, Dr. Seuss rhymes.
And I just got all bullshit.
No, you didn't. You got a song. Only one other girl has gotten a song. And it was terrible. It was over the Changes beat from Tupac.
Oh, man. Oh, man. That's classy right there.
I love this podcast because the like weird tidbits I reveal about my life and people trying to piece together like, oh yeah, James was this specific way. And then they're like, no, James was this specific way. And they're like, this person's just an overall weirdo.
Nah, man, I knew plenty of kids like that, like back in the day. I mean, that's just suburban stuff, man. The horrorcore thing, like that's like a way of life for people, man. Like I know plenty of guys that love that stuff. And
horrorcore's dope. Nicole does not agree.
Yo, didn't Ice-T do horrorcore at some point? Like,
I mean, he did do a song with ICP.
Yeah, I mean, like it's all been embraced. They have their people, man.
You gotta get on Brother Lynch Hung. He's so cool.
Yeah, but you gotta respect the multis, Nicole. That's tough. Not everyone does that.
Multis aren't tough. They're super easy.
I mean, look, man, I'm trying to play up. I'm trying to play up the effort you gave.
My friend Tyler, MC Deep, I used to always say, man, literally anyone could be a decent rapper. Anyone.
I agree.
And
I wholeheartedly agree.
He would be so mad at me, and he would never he would just be like, no, they couldn't. No. And like after maybe a month or two, he finally was like, man, just when you say that, it seems like you're invalidating all of the hard work that I've put in to be where I'm at. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. But again, like anyone could be a good rapper, Tyler. He's like, man, shut up.
You should be trying to be better than a decent rapper, though.
Oh, no. He's much better than a decent rapper.
Yeah. So, I mean, who cares if anyone can be a decent rapper?
MC Deep's one of my favorite rappers.
I mean, you could say that about anything, though.
Yeah. If you devote time to something, you can be decent.
Yeah.
But even like more, I just think rapping is so easy.
You just think it's like easier than other things.
But that's also because I've been doing it 13 years. That might be why I think it's so easy.
Well, I think that with any type of musical form, there's theory. And people discount rap a lot when comparing them to musical forms, and that, with pianos and like different ways with like composition, they teach you bass theories. Like they have, like there's like Arabian types of like ways that they construct their music. And with rappers, there's a theory behind how their lyrics are constructed.
Yeah.
Once you figure out the base theories on things and just how they sound on songs, that doesn't take a long time.
I got to do a podcast. I for real should do a podcast of teaching rap theory and say, this is how you unlock being a dope Sean Price level of rapper.
You're going for Sean Price? You're going to give the secrets away? You might need to wear a mask, bro.
The like rhyme skill of it, but technically you won't have the steez of Sean Price. Yeah. That is hard to do. You also won't have just like mixing, selling crack and Planet of the Apes together. That's definitely just a Sean Price thing. You won't be able to do that.
Unfortunately.
Sean Price is the realist, Nicole. Nicole knows more about rhyme schemes, and she's never rapped than most rappers do.
Well,
but that's just because
imagine.
I'm shoving
I
rhyme
literally
schemes.
know nothing about rhyme schemes.
Yes, she does. I'm shoving rhyme schemes. I'm like, Nicole, listen to this rhyme scheme.
I feel like you could bust a 16 real quick for us. And
what?
Like,
no, I couldn't bust a
that?
16 real quick.
I mean, I know you got like tons of bars.
Oh, yeah,
days.
yeah. I guess I thought you meant like a freestyle. I'm terrible at freestyling. We need to get back to talking about Sentai, though.
I mean, this is great. I mean, sorry. But
oh, no. We just... I feel like we had a nice tangent, and then I'm always like, no, we need a pullback.
Of course.
Shoji with the ascot, impeccable. I forgot that in this episode. But then I referenced Scooby-Doo, one of the most famous ascots ever, Fredward. He's got an ascot. He's looking good, too.
And he's the ladies' man.
Oh, man, he's a lady killer.
Are you talking about Shoji or Fred from Scooby-Doo?
Both.
Okay.
I mean, technically, we haven't seen any evidence of Shoji being a lady killer in the entire series. I'll just spoil that for you.
Yeah,
right
I don't
now.
think we ever see him teach Natsumi how to box.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, they never do that.
Fan fiction.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
jeez. That's never a good word to say, but
No, it's either this has already happened and we've done it, or future episode, I have written a Dairanger fan fiction, recorded it, and I will be showing it to Nicole on the podcast, and she will be giving me notes saying, hey, pause right now. Okay, keep going. It's good. It's a...
Wait, so you did like all the different voices and stuff?
Yeah, it's great.
I'm concerned.
All right, man.
It's really good.
I'm excited to hear how that goes.
It'll be
I'm
an
not.
evergreen episode.
I just want to put out there that I don't think there's much proof that Freddie was a ladies' man. I think that it's not hard to hook up with someone you work with, and I think that was the only thing
Whoa,
that
spoilers.
gave the Daphne thing. Did they even do it on the cartoon, really? Like hook up? Not do it, but
on
hook up?
Mystery.
Fred did with all the traps he made.
Oh, Fred loves
he got
traps.
with those traps.
Oh, yeah, and he was always, Daphne, why don't you come with me? Sorry.
Yeah.
And Thelma would just lose her glasses.
On Mystery.
Look at this
like,
trap I made.
on Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, it was one of the newer series. Nicole and I watched the entire thing because we were captivated about how unwoke it kind of was.
It was fucking awful.
It was very sexist. Even Velma was boy crazy over Shaggy and was jealous of Scoob.
Thelma was into Shaggy
Yeah.
on that one? Yo, props to Shaggy, man.
Because she got them titties, baby.
I mean,
What makes a show better? Boobies. We've talked about it before. Boobies equal
boobies,
better.
not
you're not wrong.
titties.
The bad guy in this show definitely had like a circle that curved up and like hearted down and pointed to
that's
cleavage.
I actually thought that was really cool because it looks like Earth's magnetic field. Like when you see a diagram of that.
Really?
Yes, that's what it is.
It's not just to show her tits off.
That was a dude.
That's a dude?
Yeah, no, that was a priest.
He's talking. No.
Oh.
No, I'm not talking
talking
about the
about Gara.
magnet priest. I'm talking
No,
about
I was talking about the magnet dude. No, yeah, she's got some boobies, baby.
I mean, Rita like looked like a nun, but she was just like
No. She rewatched this. It might just be in Dairanger, but she has Madonna cone bra on.
Rita?
Yes.
You know what? She actually did, and I remember that. but they were comical boobs. Like comical tits are
yeah.
fine.
Like on
but,
freaking
like,
Hocus Pocus, spooky month right
And
now.
it's all like cloth. It's not like just her boobs are just like, out there.
That woman's tits were out. Like open season for puberty.
Yeah, and boing.
To be fair though, Power Rangers did that too, and it was, I didn't know if they were saying like our fan base is getting older. But remember, like, well, the one with the cars.
Yes.
She had her like tits out.
In the Japanese version, which is called Car Ranger, the girl is...
I forgot you told me. It's just car.
She is very scantily dressed, even more so.
More
and
than...
one of the main bad guys is like staring at her, and the other main bad guy hits him, and he's like, he's staring at her butt, and he's like, oh, and with his tongue out, and the other one smacks him and says, hey, there's no time to be licking butt.
Hey, there's no time to be licking butt. That's in is this a kid's show in Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very adult.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right.
It's good. Shoji and that ascot, he's too cool to be a creep. We touched on that, but he said his name was Bullet Shoji. An even better one would be Shotgun Shoji. He'd be pop, pop, right hook, pop, pop, left hook, pop, pop, right hook.
Fair, but that was like a callback almost, because he did the Bullet Train time punch.
He did end
so
up
that's
doing
like,
that.
He was
Yeah.
Bullet Shoji. That's what I'm saying. The show was smart. It was way
Yeah.
smarter than ours. Like, there was, first off, Billy would never have an adventure like that ever. Billy would just be, I don't even remember a thing Billy did.
He got a B once, which was a B for bad. He did turn cool once with Kimberly.
Did he wear sunglasses?
Yeah. Oh.
And he started to go out with Kimberly?
No. Those two became cool.
Kimberly
And
was already cool, though.
No. She was like a punk rocker chick. Alternative cool.
Oh, 90s cool.
Yeah. That's my kind of cool.
Did Billy like ride a skateboard?
No, I don't think he did. It's not that kind of cool. It
They
was like
gambled
punk
and
rock.
smoked
Yeah.
and said,
Oh.
fuck you, Mom.
Fuck you,
I'm
Zordon.
I
going
remember that
out.
episode.
Zordon, get out of here. I'm going to my room. And no, you can't come in. They put on a sign that says no Zordons allowed. And then Alpha tries to come in and it's like, you should just really just respect Zordon. He's doing it for the better of you. And then Billy's like, yeah, I know Alpha, but he just gets on my fucking nerves. Him always just being a white floating head and shit. I don't want that. I'm trying to go out with my friends and play our fucking Tamagotchis.
I don't. That sounds like a great episode. I've got to watch that on YouTube.
And then
God damn
Alpha's
it.
just like cleaning up their room, and then like
Are you
accidentally
saying Alf?
Alpha,
Five.
and then accidentally
Alf crossover.
yeah, Elf is
Yo,
just going
that would've been
through
great.
and just finds a dirty magazine.
Let's
my
do it. Power
God.
Rangers in space.
It's just a
An Alf.
lesbian dirty magazine.
Lesbian fiction novel.
Yeah. I was just going to start doing like a fan fiction lesbian version.
I mean, we're here.
Okay, I'm gonna say a thing because you're just
Okay.
going off on a tangent. What's his name? Magnet Priest?
Yeah.
Definitely Magnet Priest.
The first evil guy. I don't remember. Maybe there are in later episodes, but I don't remember anyone ever like eating anything before, and it was fucking gross.
He just had like strawberry ice cream just
dripping on his
dripping
all
all
up
over.
inside his mustache.
I wrote he had dribbling cream from his
Ew,
stash.
what?
Yeah, as he was stabbing Shoji in the butt. Like,
Yeah. Trying to
Only on people's butts.
he was trying to also get up on Reen,
yeah. Who's Reen?
the Pink Ranger.
He was? I don't even remember that.
Right. He tried to like get her as well as they were walking up.
Yeah, that's when he got all mad.
Wait, I thought he was still with the jogger. See, that's where I got confused because the jogger was wearing pink too. So
Oh yeah, that was weird. They shouldn't have had her wearing pink.
Because that's what I thought. Because it was weird. Like, I thought he was like holding hands with her for a second at one
No.
point. It was weird. Anyways, yeah, that was. I kind of liked the idea of him like just wilding around. Like, because there wasn't that connection in the US version. I have to keep like applying to that, like none of the monsters were humans, I feel like, first. So like they weren't
Yeah, I don't
just
think
like
so.
chilling,
Yeah.
like walking around. So it was kind of cool to see like mischief like
Yeah.
from a dude, and then it was an extra layer, I felt like. But I also see why they had to rush things, because they have to go through all these plot points.
Yeah.
And things just kind of fucking happen. Like, I don't think any of the other Rangers really even had like a sentence to say. It's definitely his episode.
Oh yeah, they do like, that's why I said like this is a shoji episode. In my spreadsheet, I have a spreadsheet for this podcast that like lists each episode, who the guest will be, and like whose episode it is, like of each Dairanger. And yeah, this is a shoji episode, aka Mr. Coolsville.
Yo, I liked him, and boxing's one of my favorite sports, so that worked.
He gets a lot cooler once he ditches those overalls. He's so dope.
Yeah, it was the 90s. Keep the overalls. Blossom was popular.
When Shoji is going into, like, he goes into a work locker room, which is just questionable. I don't know if you should just be barging into locker rooms. He sees that little boxer, and I was like, whoa. Shoji's the little boxer from the assist trophy on Smash Brothers.
Oh my God.
No, I was like,
That was a
oh no,
major
she
connection.
got turned into a doll.
Yeah. Oh, she got turned into a
Yeah, I
tiny
wasn't sure
little
what was
doll.
going on with that. Like, he didn't even check what was wrong with her locker, like what was happening.
Also, like, why does she give him that?
No, because she likes boxing.
Also, was that a unisex locker room, or did he just go in the women's
that's
locker room?
That's what I was thinking, like in Chopping Mall. How there's just I don't think there's any. No, if it's on Shout Factory TV, hey, go over. You're already on Shout Factory TV to watch this episode. Go watch Chopping Mall so you get that reference.
Oh yeah, if you like things that get brought back to life by getting struck by lightning and it turns into a horror movie, do that. It's real bad, but real good.
And we've already mentioned, hey, movies made better by boobies.
That's not what I thought Chopping Mall would be.
Chopping Mall is a horror movie where like this weird like tiny robot, like it's like
No, there's like multiple.
but they look like the sand robots on Star Wars, like
Yes.
they look like that, and somehow murdering people.
Nice. Sounds like a cooking show where the dude shows you all the great food you
Yes.
could make
Yep.
with stuff you buy at a mall.
That was the second title of the movie. There was another one that was more like made more sense.
Does it not take place in a mall?
Oh no, it takes place in a mall.
I mean, I think that's about
But
as
like
good as
no
you
one
can get.
gets
Okay.
chopped though.
Oh, well then, yeah, that's...
They get sliced, diced, and horned up.
but not necessarily chops.
No, they get
No.
lasered.
They do get lasered and laid her.
Jesus Christ.
Those are those
Okay.
multis I was talking
I'm
about.
gonna
telling
move
you.
it. I'm moving
You're
along.
getting quality stuff here, Nicole. You're getting quality. These are bars.
How about I just laugh like this for the rest of my life? Shack, 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 shack.
I wish.
That's all I got left.
That's all your notes. I have there was one that was kind of, I wrote down ICE, ICE, would love having Magnet Priest to separate children from families.
Oh, but
Because he's like, and now time, like we don't see what he's about to do, and he's like, oh, it's time for the fun. And then you see a mother and a daughter, and it's like, no, he's gonna try and separate those children from their parents. Yeah. Hey, president person, you're gonna love this show. He's like, hey, guys, forget Space Force. Forget it. We need to create Gorma.
I mean, Magnet Priest sounds like a crazy task force.
Yeah, Magnet Priest Force 5.
Yeah.
I also wrote, man, Magnet Priest, no, thank you. Fuck religion, baby. You pushing pedophiles, you priest? That's what I thought. You got them rosary beads? How about you be a decent person? Put forth your time into the community instead of just taking money from us. 10%? Nah, son, you're going to get a full 100% of my fist on your face.
Why is... I'm just going to ignore what you said.
I assumed.
What? Why? Okay. Like, why is he a priest?
Why?
It's like
It doesn't matter.
like a religion. It just doesn't seem like it would go with the Gorma. Like, I don't think Gorma give a shit about religions, but he's a priest.
They're just always shoehorning in. They have to.
Yeah, because
Mash things together.
What was Metal Face's guy? He was something.
He was a bishop.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, they kind of have something like that going on. But the Baron, he was a Baron of Stang.
Yeah, I guess they were just like, I don't know, a priest.
Yeah, it's just saying like, oh, we need a occupation plus a thing, and that's what they do.
Well, who picks it? Is like Gorma picking it, or do the monsters themselves pick their form?
I mean,
or what if the monsters were like kidnapped by the Gorma, like they kidnapped a human, and then that's just like what they were.
Oh yeah, that
and turned them
makes
into
a lot
a
of
monster.
sense. Yeah. I was just thinking maybe freaking missionaries and shit came over to the Gorma tribe, and all of a sudden,
Gorma tribe, they went to space. They're from space, right?
No.
Oh, they're not.
No, they're like an ancient culture. The Gorma are.
And they've just been
6,000 years ago.
sleeping the whole time.
I mean, that happens. It kind of happens. In
You
the
have
you lay down to take a nap, and 6,000 years pass.
If Frank
and you're like, fuck these kids.
If Frank would allow you to sleep for 6,000 years and cuddle with you, you would be sleeping for 6,000 years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, oh my God, no.
I'm a fucking Gorma, bro.
No.
I mean, hey man.
Oh no.
Gorma they like naps and they like giggling.
This is a new thing. What would your Gorma be? Occupation plus a thing.
What is my occupation?
No, you just pick an occupation.
Oh, I don't know.
Mine would probably be like, I can't think of a thing right now. Hamburger. Hamburger's what was coming to my head.
Hamburger.
Mine would be
hamburger occupation. What would be my hamburger manager? Yes, that's my Gorma.
Hamburger. You just picked hamburger manager.
Mine would be craftsman coffee.
Yes.
And I'd just be like a big old coffee pot and just burn people to death. Wouldn't
you be coffee craftsman then?
The coffee craftsman sounds a lot better.
Well, I didn't come up with the formula.
This is tough on the spot. I'd probably be the nuclear librarian.
Ooh.
Because I could mute you and then give you radiation poisoning.
Yes.
So you're doing it backwards.
I said nuclear.
No, it'd be librarian.
No,
nuclear.
It's whatever rolls off the tongue better.
It sounds nice. I'd tell him to shush and then just give him stage 4 cancer off of radiation exposure.
Oh, no.
That'd stop the Dairangers pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, it would.
If you can put it in on his butt and make him go somewhere, I could give him stage 4 cancer. I'm going to knock on some wood. That was pretty bad.
I'm hamburger manager. Nicole, you have to make that up. Draw it up,
I'll just
baby.
draw the Hamburglar.
I mean, that's pretty... Oh.
Or isn't there like a mascot where the hamburger has like eyes and arms?
You're thinking Mayor McCheese from McDonald's.
Exactly. That's what I'd draw.
That is true.
But you need to put like a big old eyeball somewhere on it, because Gorma just have one, like a weird one eye thing, most of them. And they like to zoom up on it usually. Like, picture this, you zoom up on my eye and it just blinks and looks around. That's what they always do. It's just right on the eye.
Yeah,
was the space in between the poles of the magnet the eye?
Yes, it was.
Really?
Yep.
That
was his cute
like
little
a
eyeball.
Spiritual eye. There was an actual eye there?
Yes.
I didn't see it. Where was it? Was it like in the middle? Like
It was
like-
towards the top.
Like, here's
the
the
top?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it like connected by some tendons, and then eye right in the center.
I did not see that at all. Really?
Yeah.
I also want to go out and say that I feel like there's no way I could possibly know, but I feel like that monster wasn't there for us in America. I feel like that one didn't make it to us.
There is a way to know. Like, you go on the Wikipedia or not the Wikipedia. There's a Power Rangers Wikia, and if you go to the Super Sentai, go to this episode, and then find magnet priest, it will say like, hey, also reference this, and it'll give you the Power Rangers equivalent.
Magnet Brain. That was what he was called. That's fucked up. I don't remember fucking Magnet Brain. We didn't have any episodes that dope, or I was probably just too fucking stupid and a kid to like know it.
Probably too stoned to get any of this. But hey, these writers must have been out there freaking gored on that Chiba.
You mean out there, Gorm?
Ooh, out there, Gorm.
It's true.
Shoji, when he's on the bike and the girl is being chased by the car, she's like, but what about you? And he goes, don't worry, I'm invincible. I wrote down, man, Shoji probably says he's invincible while blazing, biking, and bedding babes.
Probably. I did have a point off of that whole thing, was that when it was a nice sequence. The car definitely seemed threatening, but like when he like lifted it over the car and the car like exploded, I was like, shouldn't he be pulled from his bike and like yanked towards the car to die in the explosion?
But he was going so fast, I think. So
fair enough.
We
People
also
being
know
launched though.
What we
their
do.
polarity.
What we know about
Feels
magnets.
like that wouldn't work.
What we know about magnets is when they explode, they no longer work.
True. I just feel like he should have been pulled to the car as it hit the wall, and it would have been like on the car, and then it like exploded with him on it.
Unless when the car hit the pole, the magnet disappeared.
It's a very good point, because that's
And
like a
then
matter
it
of seconds.
exploded.
It's a matter of seconds. So that's I'll take that point away. I'll give that to Shoji.
If you were a magnet, either a north or a west, which would you be?
God damn it. No, that's
Isn't it
not.
south? North or west?
That's not the segment. We got to do the segment.
Well,
The one segment we have.
hold on. Let me. We got.
We don't have to end
Shoji.
with it.
Yeah, I guess, but I would just want to make. I would like at the end there. The Dairanger are all looking at Shoji and they're like, "Oh my God, how is it gonna end?" I wish I had a group of friends like that. All I have is like my group of friends, Courtney and Monse, and they wouldn't do that for me.
I feel like they do that. You guys seem pretty close.
They're never like, when I walk up to Nicole, they're like, "Oh my God, is she gonna like fall in love with James?"
I mean,
They
you guys
never
live
say
together.
that.
It's
I
kind of
know.
a wrap at this point, isn't it?
No, it is not. Even if you live with someone, it is still work, and a relationship needs to be mended all the time.
I've definitely lived with someone, but I feel like is she gonna like him? Like, I think that part's a wrap at this point.
I mean, if she's hungry, they should be saying, "Oh my God, is she going to?
Yeah, word.
Is she going to put up with his bullshit?" Is what it should be.
Fair enough. I had a point that I just wanted to bring up, that I thought it was great that the morphers are called aura changers.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, like, what are their auras normally? Because isn't the aura always around you?
Well, they like go into aura a little bit on the Kujaku episode. They talk about rainbow auras.
Shit.
It's
This is
touched
like
on,
some
but it isn't
crazy
like a
shit.
super relevant thing. Hey, you want to know what? They didn't answer me, but if you're listening to this, tweet at us or on Instagram, on Facebook at MSS Pod. Are you more of a north or a south when it comes to magnets?
Yo, I mean, I'll be north. I like
Yes.
north. You know what? Actually, I'll be south, because I hate the Cubs.
Him and his hatred for the Cubs for some reason. Listen to his podcast.
It's
I just
super
don't like-
nice.
legendary.
Cubs fans.
I just hate the team, their entire organization, and everything they represent.
But they were the underdog 103
Sweet.
years.
How
I
much
think it
money did they
was.
have being underdogs? They always sold out. They always were expensive.
Hey,
They're lovable losers.
you want to know what? If you're listening to this, are you more of a Cubs fan or more of a White Sox fan? I don't think there's going to be any
Yeah, all
overlap.
5 White Sox fans that are listening.
Well, we have
Yeah.
5 listeners.
Oh, yes.
There you
You
go.
heard it here. You heard it here, guys. Nick said we have 5 listeners. At the time of this
He
recording,
said it.
I said it.
at the time of this recording, our like first actual episode isn't even out yet. So hopefully by the time this is out, there will be 5 listeners. We know my mom for sure will be listening.
I'm listening. I
Tyler
listened to
Wright,
all your
Suffocate
episodes
You
that you've
with
given me.
Spaghetti.
We got Nick. We got our friend Tyler Wrightman, Suffocate You with Spaghetti. Probably Tyler Berger, this AKA the Slider, AKA MC Deep Bergquest. Or he's just going to listen to his own episode when that's out. Oh my God, he's so narcissistic.
Of course.
Like
won't
the
even-
least
Yeah, I know.
narcissistic person I know.
He's just like, oh man, I'm not anything, guys.
Oh, now you sound like Monse.
Oh yeah. Monse will maybe be listening. She loves us.
Frank.
We need to get him a little tablet
And
so
then
we can
just your mom a second time.
Yeah. She listened to The Marshland, my first podcast, which is disgusting and terrible. She listened to that multiple times and I don't know why.
Tell me more about this podcast. What was that about?
It was just like a collection of audio plays that I
It
did.
was awful and real messed up.
Yeah, there was only I still think the production value was good. I'll tell like I did all the music
Production
There's
and
a story
was good.
about a dog that kills himself and a story about moldy cheese that jerks off in a car in vivid detail.
This is
and
what
then
you guys
just
were talking about,
murders a
right? When you
family.
talked about how you first met.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this. This is
Yeah.
that podcast, huh?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
But hashtag who is hotter, that's a good one. I need to
I'll be on that one. I don't care.
I need to like get
What?
You were on that podcast.
Was I?
Yeah, you were on like 2 or 3
Nah.
episodes.
You were on the podcast game early, man. How
Yeah.
long have you been doing podcasts? I feel like you've killed more
Since he was
podcasts than I
born.
had episodes.
Hashtag who is hotter had 17.
17 episodes?
Yeah,
Goddamn, bro.
bi-weekly. And then the Graham podcast. That was an insane one.
Yes.
So I would do this character to Nicole. Hey there, grandkids. How are you today? And I would just like talk to like her about being like are you one of my grandkids, Nicole? Come here. I have a Werther's original for you. That's right, grandkids. Grandpa has candies. And it turned into like each episode was his grandkids would not talk to him. So each episode would come out. We only did 2 I started writing a third one, and that one was going to be bonkers, but it was around Christmas and we just didn't have time.
We were doing it for like every holiday.
Yeah, because he would like send it to his grandkids as like Happy Halloween, kids. And the fun one of my favorite things was he for the Thanksgiving one, he goes, "Gobble gobble, grandkid." I'm kidding. I'm not a turkey. It's your grandpa. And it's like, of course it's not a turkey. And like none of the kids would come over to his house.
But they were also just real terrible.
They were. What? The grandkids were
Yeah.
terrible? Well, no, the grandkids wouldn't come over because their grandmother had died, and he would always tell them stories about how the ghost of their grandmother would like wake him up for sex, like just naked. And it was bonkers. And there was a story arc of, I wish I could remember the guy's name.
I forgot.
It was they wouldn't talk about a certain grandkid because
It was like Bradley or something.
like Bradley because like I think he was killed by a serial killer, and they were like, "I'd love to go with you grandkids to the trees buried underneath." Well, I mean, most of him's buried underneath what we could find after No Face got to him. I'm a bizarre person of just like, yeah, like also because I have microphones. Since I've always had microphones, I'm like, yeah, I'll just record this dumb thing.
So I thought it was really interesting when they had the Zordon guy on Dairanger. I just wanted to point out that it was pretty hilarious that they just have a fucking guy there as opposed to like Zordon there and how that guy.
Okaku.
Yeah, most of them do. The ones that Car Ranger has Dapu, which is like a like
Dapu.
he looks like
Is that like
He's like an alien creature
that
looking
thing
guy.
that's
Yeah.
like supposed to be
Alien
cute, but
creature.
it's gross?
Yeah, he looks
It
like
looks like a hairless gizmo.
yes, but also no, a hairless gizmo mixed with baby Saint Sinclair.
Yes.
Those
It's
from
fucking
Dinosaurs.
gross.
Fair enough. I mean, but this guy just looked like one of the Rangers' uncles that they went to hang out with.
For sure.
And is his information and like advice always as pointless?
Yes.
We're trying.
Are you gonna just like
We hate him so much.
The bad thing about doing this show with people who have never seen the show and like doing this podcast is everyone has had the same reaction to him. He's pointless, and I want to stop talking about that, but I also want our guests to have free range to say what they want. And yeah, it's every single episode we're going to have to bring up that he's useless.
I mean, he just drops such gems as like, yeah, so you have this polarity on you, and he has this magical power over you. Once he's turned you got to figure it out. And he's just like, well, what do I do? And he's like, well, we don't really know what the future holds. Like, how are you just gonna say shit? Like, he might as well have just walked off camera at that point.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how much he cared, clearly. Yeah, I mean, he's the worst mentor ever. And I have to be honest about that. Like, that, it kind of warmed my heart because I liked how much I hated him, because it added the part of like where it was unnaturally funny to me and like ironically funny. Like, that was the one thing that I ironically loved, because it was just so ridiculous how little he gave a shit about those kids.
I'm glad that everyone who's been on the podcast so far has felt the same way.
Yeah, I mean, the show isn't bad, but like that was the only thing where I'm like, that probably didn't carry over as well as they thought it would.
Yeah.
And now he's just like a joke. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I wanna see a show where there's a guy that's the mentor character that really just doesn't give a fuck like that. Like, smoking a cigarette or something whenever they walk up, and he's just doing shit, and he just gives them the worst advice.
But it's also like he's the one that got them all together in a team, and then they like ask him for help, and he's like, I don't fucking know.
It's like a football coach being like, I don't know, just find the open guy. Whatever, figure it out. Who knows what happens,
Hey guys, this play, you will take the football and go to the end zone. All right. See you guys later.
Defense, you better find a way to stop them. I mean, they're really good.
That's all the advice he's giving.
Yeah, pretty much. He sucks.
Yeah.
I did like their intro song, and they just had way better. They care about these like characters, whereas like ours is just they give them the chips, like frozen scene, like laughing, like credits roll, I think was ours, right? And like they get this whole like sequence where they're doing like bow staff moves together.
Yeah.
And like we don't get any of that shit. I don't think any of our Rangers had like motorcycles. There's one like even badass scene where like during the intro, the girl Red Ranger, she's just chilling on like a surfboard Zord, like flying through the city, like throwing like lasers. It was a split second. I was like, that's cooler than anything our Rangers ever did. Like, we got the big gun at the end, and like that was it. Like, they stood in like a line, and like the Red Ranger would just shoot the gun. Like, that was what we got.
Well, they also had it. They had that too.
They had the flying surfing Zord.
No. I'm saying the gun. Like, Japan also had that.
Yeah, we had to steal whatever we got, whatever good ideas. But like, they just seem to care more. Like, this was it makes our show seem so cynical, because this seemed way more lighthearted than ours. Like, ours felt like the worst form of cartoon, like edutainment, but then you got to see people get punched in the face.
Yeah.
And like there was no education in this, which was great.
The Jew Ranger is very like towards children.
Very poor.
Every single episode is kind of like, that one was a children's show. Keep vamping.
Vamping.
No, you were gonna say a thing.
I was going to go to a regular bit, the Gorma glove gauge, and guess what? This episode did disappoint. They don't take off their gloves.
Did they even show up in the one that I just saw?
Yeah, Gara did.
Is that the one with the tits?
Yeah.
Okay.
We call them boobies here.
Sorry.
Let's be mature about it. Not only mature, but woke. Boobies is the woke
I feel like
term.
tits is more mature than boobies, isn't it?
Oh.
Boobies.
Like boobies, like
Like
you know,
Lil
Tracy
B's.
Morgan said, like boobies
Lil
is like
Bees.
Like little bees with sheets on
that's
them.
what you call like a stupid person. Like, look at that boob.
Yeah, but not
It
boobies.
used to be like a boob. Yeah, boobies is what you said when you didn't want to get in trouble with your parents for saying tits.
Boobies.
Boobies. But I will be respectful. Boobies.
Boobies is what they're called on this podcast.
Boobies.
Hug, marry, kill. That's James's version.
No, that's Courtney's version because Courtney can't swear.
Oh, right.
So we
Okay.
can say
Is that a joke or like she
my
really
version?
can't swear?
She doesn't like swearing. My version
Alexa.
Is this because she's
Alexa,
Canadian?
say shit.
yes. My version is finger, marry, kill. So Nick, finger, marry,
I'm
kill.
doing
Okay.
it.
I mean, I'm down to fuck, marry, and kill. That's fine. with
No,
me.
it's finger, marry, kill.
All right, finger, marry, kill. Let's take it back. Let's go.
Priest magnet.
Okay.
Magnet priest.
In
Whatever.
which form?
The magnet,
Okay.
obviously.
You see these? They're too ready to go. I'm holding
North
up
and South
South.
Pole. North and South Pole.
Kaku and Gara.
Okay.
Gara is the reader,
The-
right?
Yeah.
She's Mrs. Breasts.
Yes. I
Oh, my
mean,
glasses.
I'd have to finger
glasses.
Mrs. Breast, but I don't know. I mean, just because of the amount of mischief we could get into, I'd have to marry the magnet in magnet form because that's a new adventure every day, and you could find out like what type of things you could stick together or just pull apart, launch children and their parents in opposite directions. It'll never get old, honestly. Well, who was the other one?
Kaku.
And he's kill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, kill that guy.
All right.
Fucking sucks.
Okay. I would kill Magnet Priest because he's Gorma. Gorma got to be killed. I would marry Gara because, hey, why not? And I'd finger Kaku to assert dominance.
See, this is what I'm saying. It's not always about looks. I mean, of course I could have married Gorma, but you know, I'm here for a long time. I'm not just here for a good time with this. And I gotta have some variety. And she seemed pretty one note to me. I feel like it'd just be her at work all the time dealing with these kids. And it's like
with these kids.
And it's like I don't want to deal with that. Like I didn't
Are
marry
you talking about the kids that they're trying to like kidnap, or the kids that Dairanger?
The Dairanger, like it's an ongoing task.
This is full circle. It is now Scooby Doo. You have made the Gorma like, oh, if it weren't for these.
And the monsters are
That's what it is.
actually
Yes.
people.
Yep.
They are.
You know?
That's
This is
two sides to
Scooby-Doo.
Magnet Priest that I get to discover every day as his husband. Its husband.
For some reason, I thought you picked fingering, and you were going to say every day I get to finger him. I get to discover
no.
two
I
sides.
mean, I'll just finger Gorma because whatever. Let's get it out.
But
the
hey,
way.
guess what? You're gonna finger her cleavage.
Oh my God.
I mean, sure, whatever. I mean, I'm just trying to start my new life with Magnet Priest personally. I want to see how this
Nicole,
goes.
what would you do?
I don't know. I feel like the way that you went with Kaku is funny, but I expected you to make a joke of like saying you were gonna marry him to try and change him.
Oh no!
You can't change a man like
Yeah,
that.
you can.
He was gone.
He's set in his ways.
Man, I don't know what I would do. I
you
just
think-
wanted to ask the question.
Do you think Kaku votes Republican? I don't know why he
Oh my
said
God.
that. It doesn't make any sense. He's not American.
I don't think he votes.
Oh no! Yes, absolutely.
I think he doesn't give a shit, and he'd tell you
Yes.
with a happy face, and then smoke a cigarette and blow it in your face.
He's like, oh, these politicians that are in office suck, but I didn't vote.
That's exactly the type of guy
Yeah.
Kaku is.
All right, let's go to our final.
Oh shit, we haven't even done that yet.
Okay, so
Let's go.
in this series, they each have their own star, like a power.
They're the 5 heavenly stars.
Yes.
Yes.
So like the fire, wind, phantom, gravity, and time. Like those are their each individual special power. So if you were a ranger, what would your power be? What would your star be? And what color of ranger would you be?
Do I pick both of those?
Yes, you
I
pick.
pick from all those?
No, you get to pick
Just
any.
whatever you want.
Ooh.
Like it's up to your imagination.
I'd have to be the pollution star
Ooh.
and
I
just
mean-
be gray.
I mean, are you helping pollution or are you polluting?
I'm not sure yet.
So
Because you're a good guy.
yes, you're a good guy.
Okay, well, let's see.
Well, I mean, you
let's
could
say I
still-
help pollution, but
But how would that like hurt? Unless it was a like eco-conscious
that's what I'm saying.
series.
I could hurt the monsters with pollution.
Yeah, like you
and
just
like make them cough,
spray
like,
smog in their face.
yeah, that's like, see, if you haven't noticed, I'm like a long-term like war guy. I go for the big thing. Like I don't want to just shock you and you're like, oh, that was a shock. Let me get back to fighting. Like I want it to be like, oh, I can't run because I'm wheezing on this pollution.
You just
and it's
want to
like,
disease everyone
I'm kind of into that because it gets the job done clearly.
Yeah.
You know, like we wipe it out.
without like actually getting blood on your hands.
Because I'm not for physical activity, so like I just show up and they're like, let's just call the pollution ranger, and I
thought
show
you
up
were
and I'm
gonna
like,
say
yo,
physical violence when you said physical activities.
You're like, hey, I'm just gonna.
I'm all for violence. Like he could die violently in front of me, and I'm like, that's awesome.
Hey, we're just gonna rain some wet garbage sludge on them.
Exactly. Just
They'll be dead
throw
in a
some
few
out
minutes.
and like, this is no fun. Like, you gotta have fun to do mischief, and it's like I just bum them out.
It like mutates them. All of a sudden, the magnet has like a second north pole, and it just fucks him up for his entire life.
Exactly.
He's just spinning his entire life.
Ruining the poles. Like I'm destroying the atmosphere around him that he's creating. And it's just, all the other rangers get to rest a little easier.
Before you, the south side of the magnet guy had polar ice caps.
Yeah.
And then you just came through and you're like, no. I'm messing that up.
Exactly. And I'd be gray, so I'd just be like indifferent to the whole thing. Like they'll get me to show up. Like I'd be like lack of a better word, I'd be the trump card that they'd play where it's like, oh, we got the pollution. They hate to bring me there because I make them sick too. And they're just like, it just bums everybody out.
Yeah,
But,
like I feel like that character would be one that just like turns evil at the end.
But I'd have to care enough to turn evil. Like they'd call me and I'd be like on my phone, like with the monster, like showing up, like I'm here. What's up, dude? And just walk up to him and like he would be all like, I'm here to stop you. And then like by him there, he's like, and he's just on his knees. And I'm just like, yeah, that was a good job, dude. And I like walk away and I'm like, I'm gonna be at the bar.
Just crumples to the ground in agony.
Exactly. Just tell Kaku to dry clean my suit. Got a little garbage on it. Just walk away.
You fight a cow beast, and you're like, oh, he's got mad cow disease from eating bad grass.
It is every form of the worst type of like environmental control like just comes with me. So I can just walk through at a nice, comfortable pace and then just like go about my way. It's good.
On the cherry blossom monster from the previous episode, which we haven't recorded yet, you're like, hey, California wildfire on this guy.
Boom. Every form. That's what I'm saying. Like I would be perfect because I'd be the greatest superhero ever.
It'd be an acid rain.
Yeah.
Pesticides.
Oh, that Isham album. Pesticides
Yeah,
and pestilence. That's what he's bringing.
Exactly.
sure.
But only when I put the suit on. So it's like, I can take it off.
Yeah.
Or my aura is changing. I change my aura back. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know.
I don't know. What were your guys' star? I don't.
Oh, didn't you listen to the first episode?
I did, but I don't recall which one you chose. Do you guys? You should pick a different one every time.
No, because
No,
ours
no, no.
are set because the cover of the podcast are stars. Like
Oh.
she drew it up.
So who are your stars? Just remind me real quick.
Nicole?
Oh, mine is. I think it was just the Mind Star.
Yeah.
It was purple.
And mine is the brown dirt star, baby.
Dirt. Nice. Well, I feel like we'd
Courtney's-
get along. Dirt.
Yeah.
Well, no, we wouldn't because you're natural. So I kind of am not good for you.
It doesn't matter.
Courtney's is the best. Hers is the Horn Star.
She did
And that
not.
was not
What does
planned.
that do?
She can play trumpet. So she was like, oh yeah, I could be like the brass star, like the horn star. And then Nicole caught it. Was like, what? Do you understand what you just said? Right? It sounds very much like porn star.
Yeah, I mean, I also don't know. So she would just play the trumpet for them
And like hurt their
and
ears.
blow their ears
Yeah.
out. But they could still
or
like,
make them skank to death. Do a two-step.
That's a fate worse than death, personally.
Yeah.
And I used to listen to the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
No, it's the Mighty Mighty Brass Tones.
Dude, you're about to scare me. I thought I did get their band name wrong. That's a long name to get down. I was pretty happy. I remember that.
All right. Nick, where can we find you online?
You can definitely find us. The podcast has a Twitter, Super Guys PCast on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram, Super Guys Podcast. You can find us on SoundCloud, Super Guys Podcast. And you can find my music, NickPeriod, on SoundCloud. The word period is spelled out. And you can find me on Instagram, just NickPeriod.
Awesome. And is that
Sweet.
period spelled out on Instagram?
It is also spelled out on Instagram.
Awesome. Nicole.
Oh, I'm Darling Homebody on Etsy, Instagram, Facebook, Redbubble, and Tumblr.
She does great cover art. Did it for me. FYI.
And for this podcast and my
Yeah.
past few albums. You can find me on Twitter at Marshland Mullum. That's MULLUM. I'm a rapper, Marshland Monster. It's too long for Twitter handles Monster to include in that. Instagram at Marshland Monster. On Facebook at Marshland Monster. And please rate, review, subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You can follow Stitcher. You can rate, review, subscribe. And follow the podcast on Twitter and Facebook at MSS Pod, on Instagram at MSS Podcast. And feel free to email us about anything if you just want to chit chat with us. If you want to just say anything besides like we got something wrong, we don't need to hear that. We don't need your snobbery. We don't need you to flex in your nerd muscle on us.
None of that whatsoever.
Email address is msspod@yahoo.com. That's M as in mostly, S as in speakin', and S as in Sentai. My name's James.
I'm not James.
No,
Oh, I'm Nick though.
yes. Okay. Let's do a clean.
I think that was good. I think that's fine.
Keep it. Keep
I want to
it.
keep that.
Okay, and
I'm Nicole.
we've been Mostly Speakin Sentai. That one I want to get.
Keep it.
Okay. And we've been Mostly Speakin Sentai.
I kind of want the first one. Makes sense. Digimon was kind of dark. I remember that as a kid.
Digimon, digital monsters, digitized to the champion. Change
Was
into
it digitized? To
It's no.
I thought it was Digimon is the champion.
Change into digital creatures. Change into ultimate Digimon, digital monsters. Digimon.
Thanks.